To Sharonda, and this is my podcast as well as my Facebook and YouTube channel entitled Spiritual Sense. Today is Sunday, which is March the 24th. And in this podcast, as well as Facebook and YouTube channel, I'll go over topics regarding the paranormal, occult, and supernatural. So if you go on my podcast platform, which is on Spreaker.com, that's SPREAKER.com, and you'll find a variety of topics that I speak about regarding the paranormal, occult, supernatural on my Spiritual Sense podcast. I have a total of 5 different podcasts on there, so you're more than welcome to go on there to view the variety of topics that I have and the podcast. Okay. So I'd like to start off by saying that this podcast, YouTube, and Facebook Live is for entertainment purposes. Again, it is for entertainment, sometimes informational or even educational purposes. Okay. Um. So, I consider myself an intuitive psychic, gypsy, nomad, parapsychologist, informally. Um, Parapsychologist, magic mind medium. I think we all possess those capabilities. It's just how receptive you are to that space. I think God intercedes in our life by way of prayer, through the milestones of life to get us enlightenment about this life experience. Some people are more sensitive than others, but ultimately, I think we all possess these capabilities. Okay. So, what is a medium? A medium is such as that you're the go between this existence and the next one. And I think when you have, it's a gift that is bestowed upon you. You're able to relate what is being said on the other side and into this time in existence. So that's basically what a medium is. Now, to be psychic, it comprises a number of things. To be psychic, I think we all again have those capabilities. It's just is is how the you we as vessels or messengers relate the message, if that makes any sense. Okay. So that being said, I do also what I refer to as spiritual readings in this podcast, Facebook, and YouTube channel, which is essentially a tarot card reading. And as I promised, I said, well, today I was going to be on Sundays, I was going to be doing light and dark spiritual arenas. And what does that mean? Well, light reading is pretty much an enlightenment reading where I'm providing some type of enlightenment on your life situation, my life, or whomever. And then the dark reading pretty much is going to get to the root of the issue, the nitty gritty of it, the realism as it may. Because they say that there are some biblical verses in regards to God not being a God of confusion and things of that sort. And I honestly feel as though God is an illusionist, a magician, if you may, if that makes any sense. Um, so he works favorably as well as not. Ultimately, is what I feel. Um, so to say that he's not a god of confusion, we may not necessarily want to use that term, but I do think that everything is not going to be favorable for everybody, and he has his pits and chooses. I do. I'll just be honest about it. Will we all have things in this life experience that we want? No. Will everything be all horrible and terrible in this life experience? No. Sometimes you may feel as though it is, but this essentially is not. We all have bad days. Okay. Um. So I honestly feel as though he can't lie, but there are ways to bend the pendulum, if that makes any sense, for a lack of a cliche or word or whatever I'm trying to say. In other words, bend the rules. So you do have definitively black and white. It's definitively this and that, but I do feel as though because of him Some things, there are gray areas that would be apart from what has been exhibited or what has been presented or displayed or told. So it's not necessarily that he's not a god of confusion or that he is a god of confusion. I think there are certain things, because life is so complex and there's so much in this life experience that we can explain. You can't put it in one book. There are gray areas. There are things that are going to contradict or um, go against what is written or even said. And that's why I think these so-called spiritual gifts such as psychic, mediumship, um, sorcery, or whatever you want to refer to it as. A lot of people frown upon things like this and say this is of Satan. Well, guess what? I think it's basically Satan is a state of mind. Contrast. Good versus bad, right versus wrong, if that makes any sense. Because I honestly feel as though God is everything, whether it's good, bad, black, white, or what have you. He is. All right, so we're going to proceed. I'm not going to debate on any biblical verses because oftentimes I consider myself a spiritualist as well. So intuitive spiritualist, magic mind medium, parapsychology, psychologist, gypsy, nomad. Um, I refer back to the biblical text because I feel as though you cannot talk about anything spirit related without referring to the biblical text. I cannot argue the Bible with anybody. I'll just be honest about it. But I get my own sensibility as to what I feel as though is being conveyed. I think in this life experience, with your spiritual duty, spirit related job fields, certain energies are gravitated to certain spiritual assignments or spiritual duty, and as a result you take your interpretation or your perception from what has been written. And I honestly feel as though everything is not going to be cookie cutter. It would be a boring life, a boring world, if that is the way it worked. Okay. All right, so we're going to proceed. Today I'm going to do a 10 card, but I'm going to say my prayer. Father, supreme being of all being, thank you for waking me up this morning to see another day. Continue to bless me, shield me from any injury, harm, or danger. No weapon formed against me or family, friends alike shall prosper. As it is said, it is so. I declare and I decree. Give me infinite wisdom, knowledge, capability, and understanding as I do my reading. I don't know what the reading is on, but I do feel as though, like this reading, like any other reading I do, is going to provide some sense of encouragement, enlightenment, spiritual wisdom, guidance, or whatever the case may be. Do I know it all? No, I don't. If I knew it all, I wouldn't even be here. I think none of us would be here if we know it all. And when you get to that point in you're in this experience, when God sees that you can't learn no more and you cannot be rectified, then a transition will make do. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to do a 10 card. I'm going to begin with my Urban Tarot card. And for those who, I said that I was going to start charging to do readings. Hey, just put it this way. I'm not going to. If you're wanting to do a cash out or what have you, that's fine. That's totally fine because I do have a cash out. I think it's Magic Mind Medium under my cash out. So if you're if you're wanting to donate in terms of, the channel, my mission, whatever I'm trying to do, my enterprise, you're more than welcome to do so. Again, my cash app is Magic Mind Medium. It's what my cash app is. All right. So in essence, we're going to, when I do my light readings, it comprises of 6 parts. I do the life, I do past history, I do love, thoughts, faith, and belief, family history, and then I read your energy. That's what I do. My readings are general. So I may know who is it specific to. More than likely, I don't. Sometimes I don't, or what have you. Sometimes it's a self reading, So through the cycles of life, any given situation is going to apply to you, or perhaps somebody you know, or somebody they know. Okay, so I just read the cards as they may. But again, my cash app is Magic Mind Medium. That's what my cash app is. All right, so we're going to do a 10 card Celtic cross today. Now, let me go over briefly what the 10 card is. Card one is going to be on the person, situation, or some type of enlightenment, dilemma, or whatever the case may be. Card two is going to be what crosses over the barrier, the hurdle, the obstacle of the situation, the person, or what have you. Card three is what you trying to get at, what you trying to attain, what's over the situation. Card four is going to be the root or the reason. To the left is going to be what's occurring of the past. To the right is going to be what's occurring of the future, or what's to come. Card seven is going to be the attitude and or morale. Card eight is going to be pretty much the same thing, morale or what's physically surrounding the person. Card 9 is going to be hopes, fears, and dreams. And card 10 is going to be the outcome. So the 10 card Kilter Cross is my most favorite to use, although I do 3 cards, which is past, present, and future. Let me move this back so I can go off of my tarot cloth that I have here. You could do a 3 card past, present, and future. You can do a 3 card situation, obstacle, guidance, or release, embody, and action. So if it's something that you're experiencing that needs to be released, and what's causing it, and then what you can do to release it. Okay, so let's proceed. We're going to do the 10 card with my Urban Tarot card. Get off into tarot cards. I mean, it's a pastime to get you engaged and not out there doing something that is unfavorable. Okay? And you know, I don't think it's no worse off. Is it something that that's admissible in court and things of that sort? No. 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 Because I think this life is experience, we do have spiritual duties, we do have associations, likeness to others, but I think it's based on perception. The individual's perception is what I feel. So we're going to proceed. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and I'm just pulling randomly. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Again, this podcast, Facebook, and YouTube channel is for entertainment purposes. Again, it's for entertainment purposes. So at the close of this light reading, I'm going to proceed with my dark reading. So we're going to do a quick scramble of my cards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and this is card 1. If you're able to view that card, the moon, the moon, the moon. So this is what the reading is on. I'm going to pull out my guide and what it mentions about the moon. If the moon is even on here on my guide, I have my own sensibility. Okay, secrets, illusion, mystery, intuition, subconscious. I honestly feel as though this reading is applicable to someone who is keeping a secret, like it's something that you are holding in, and I think it's affecting you spiritually, psychologically, mentally, and emotionally is what I feel. It's this secret that I think it's a family secret. That's what's so sad about it. It's a family secret. Something lets me know that perhaps it's something in regarding some ties to some illegal activity, and I think it's dark in a dark sense. And I think you've been holding it in because God revealed it to you about the foundation of the affluentness within this enterprise, this family enterprise is what I feel. Um, I honestly feel as though there could very well be some mafia connections in terms of this so-called secretness, a lot of things that you have hidden within you. That's what I feel. You'll be very surprised. A lot of things that presents in movie, theater, TV, people say, "Oh, you watch too many TV or you read too many of those novels." No, those are spirits, honey. And once God reveals to you how a lot of things manifest in terms of a death or spiritual transition or things of that sort, it's because of these same type of behaviors and characteristics as such. And the reason why I speak about this is because it kept putting in my being last night because I pretty much had a hard time getting to sleep about mafia ties and things of that sort. Something lets me know mafia media is some type of secret, is what it lets me know. Now, this is what I have. I have Empress. Of course, what did I say the Empress card relates to? Well, communication, whether it be print, social media, the news, or whatever, something in regarding communication. That's what I feel. Now we're going to go over here. We're going to read what it mentions on here about the Empress. It says feminine power, creativity, futility, expression, and pleasure is what it has here. But something lets me know that um it's some feminine energy that is surrounding this situation. So could it very well be some feminine influence in terms of the mafia? Could be some underground things that are going on and regarding the mafia. You know, when I begin to look at the way I look at life and things, you will oftentimes hear me speak about spirits because I honestly feel as though, as I tell my son, those are spirits. Gain is in your mind. It's God's way of giving you inclination about associations, partnerships, and groups within this life experience that can help facilitate a transition if you're not careful. So to speak about mafia or so-called gangs and stuff like that, they are real, but I honestly feel as though it's a representation of energies, if that makes any sense to anybody. Okay? Because when you start hearing things like that, the first thing people will begin to do is say, okay, this is somebody that's kind of out there. What's going on? But something lets me know there is some secrets that are some family secrets that has been revealed to you, and you hold a burden because it eats at you. I think um some deaths occurred in terms of family, some ties to some negative forces, dark forces, and you bear the brunt of that secret. And it eats at you. That's what it lets me know. Because it goes to show you how I honestly feel as though whoever this person is has a altar that can be turned on and off. Like the person is very charismatic, and can greet you and make everybody feel wonderful and loving, very kind and very charismatic. But it's an altar that switches, and this person has a demonic side apart from. And I think this is why there's a mockery that you will see amongst those who are in religion or anything church related, because it's to give you a synopsis as to how God really works. Because personally, I'm just going to tell you, He is the illusionist, He is the magician. He could be your best friend, he could be your worst enemy. And I think this is what this person that is in your family is like in terms of that dark side. It's like a switch into a whole different being, is what it lets me know. Now, above this situation, I have the Emperor card. So I honestly feel as though this person is in a profession or a spiritual duty or spirit related job field. Well, most of them are like that. That's what's so sad about it. Like, I can kiss you on your lips and then I can stab you in the back all within the same breath, twinkling and blinking of an eye. And that's why I feel as though you recluse within yourself, because life does not happen like it is being presented. And how can I walk around with this facade and this fake and phoniness? Is what it lets me know. And once it has been revealed to you how life truly works, something lets me know that you, like, it's a pit in your stomach. It's sickening to say the least. Okay. Now, this is what I have as the reason I have Princess of this, the kindergarten teacher. Um, the kindergarten teacher in this situation is, we know what a teacher is. We know what a kindergarten is. It's the first beginnings of things. I honestly feel as though you was pretty much put in position as kind of like a holding space, like something to look good. You know, like I mentioned to my son, we just moved into a new place. I told him, I said, you know, a lot of things are not meant to be used. It's just there for cosmetics. And I think that's pretty aesthetics is essentially what I'm getting at. I think this is how you feel about this life experience. Like, I'm just made to be kind of similar to like a trophy wife, how someone who is a trophy wife would feel. And I think you feel this way as a person. I do feel as though I'm speaking to a male, and I think a lot of this influence is feminine energy. Something shows me feminine energy. So we'll get into the reading to get where this feminine energy is coming from. To the left, I have Ace of Swords. Now, we know swords has a lot to do with the mind and things of that sort. I do have the column here on here. I think about Rome or something, Italy, Italian related in regards to that. But I honestly feel as though that it is a lie. Italian, it's a lie. Lion. In other words, it's not what it appears to be. Um, Once God revealed things to you in terms of spirits, something lets me know defeat. Defeat. I have this here. Defeat. I think this is a battle for your soul, honey. That's what it lets me know. This secret that you're carrying is to let you know how souls are lost. Um, or what have you, and what it means to sell of one's soul and to lose one's soul and to live in agony and spiritual apathy and in a state of disarray and despair. So I honestly feel as though this is what I show, which is over this reading today. Now, number 7, attitude, sorrow. I honestly feel as though you're empathetically picking up on and feeling the sorrow of something that transpired as a result of whatever this feminine energy is that I'm picking up here in terms of alter, like alters, alteration, and personality, ego, and things of that sort. Cruelty. This is what I have as what's physically surrounding cruelty. So that lets me know that there's a lot of backstabbing. It's a lot of negative energy. I feel as though it's a lot of negative energy in reference to some feminine um energy. is what it lets me know. Misogyny, if that makes any sense to you, and it's sickening. This is what I have as hopes, fears, and dreams card. I have the gourmet chef, Knight of Disc, gourmet chef. Something lets me know this is affecting you in terms of food. I don't know if you have lost a lot of weight or somebody has done something um to you food wise, but that comes up because before I even would begin, it was showing me that this person has lost a lot of weight as a result of this emotional spiritual battle that they're experiencing. Like there's a lot of weight loss. Like something shows me that this person has exhibited sleepless nights, some anxiety, weight loss even, and there's something show me that your countenance is has totally changed or what have you. You're going to begin to see a lot of that in people. Like it's like that twinkle has left them, that spark is gone. It's what it is. And once revelation has come to you, that's what that feels like. I have the food card. That's what I have as the outcome. So I honestly feel as though there is a lot of deception in terms of feminine energy, a dark energy that's around, if that makes any sense. And this reader, I think you're holding a family secret, is what it lets me know. And you are in fear of something happening to you if you let anybody know. That's what it lets me know. That's why you are in your spiritual duty. That's what it lets me know. Now we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna get some little background about love, love, love. Let's go ahead and pull out some background about love. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pull these cards out. But yeah, something shows me that you have lost a significant amount of weight. Like you cannot keep anything down. Perhaps um you have went to the doctor or physician or whomever, and no one seems to know what it is. It's spiritual. Is what it is. It is spiritual. That's what that means. That means it's a spiritual it's a spiritual battle. I have coffin card here. Coffin. In this bring new beginnings, growth, change, liberation, and transition. So I think this is a spiritual awakening. I think God is providing. It's a innate knowledge base and knowing about how this life experience really works, how this life truly works is what I feel. You're going through what I refer to as kind of similar to someone who has had a near death experience or even an out of body experience, and God begins to present things to you in a different fashion and form, and things become heightened and enhanced, and you'll become more sensitive to certain energies, and you'll begin to understand the origin of language and what is spoken and what is meant, intent, and things of that sort. So I think it's a death of the old you going into the new you, if that makes any sense. Where you will begin to see things for what it truly is. And things of this existence no longer will affect you, bother you as such. That's what I feel. That's what you're going through right now. It's different than it is spiritual awakening. It's different than spiritual renewing, because spiritual renewing is similar to like a change in outlook, but what you're dealing with is more or less soul driven. So I'm trying to see how I will put it in layman's term. It's like soul restoration, if that makes any sense. Like it's the spirit, I feel, is temporary, but the soul lasts is long lasting. if that makes any sense. And I think this is a kind of like a restoring of your soul, if that makes any sense. The next card I have girl talk, time with friends, moving on, happy single, happily single, living in the moment, having fun. I honestly feel as though this feminine energy that I've been picking up, in a sense, I think what's transpired with um this feminine energy, this essence of this feminine energy, perpetuated you, a male that I'm speaking to, into seeing things in a more you see it more deeply now. Like you take every breath you take could be very well your last. And you'll begin to see why these energies do this versus these energies do that. Why this happened that way, why that was written that way, why this is this, that, or that, feng shui. You'll begin to get a higher sensibility about things, is what it lets me know. And when people come to you and speak to you about frivolous, petty shit, you would just sit and look at them and say, "You are so foolish. You have no clue whatsoever what life is all about and what is relevant and what is important." The next card I have is photograph. Photograph. I honestly feel as though God has is showing you snapshots in time about images and how things work, and giving you the sensibility about thought processes, and energies, and how we are vessels, messengers for whatever He wants to convey to you. Now, let's get a little bit about past life history. I do feel as though past life is very important in this situation. I think this secret that you're experiencing is the secret from God. It's essentially kind of like Ark of the Covenant. You're bound in agreement from God. That's what I feel. Like the Ark of the Covenant is your bounding agreement from God. And you'll have the naysayers that's going to always have something to say in this life experience. They're not living your life. You are. You are. So I show ships is something significant in terms of ships. Past life. So I don't know if you're military, perhaps something involving ships. Um, military, Coast Guard, Navy, Carnival cruising or whatever, something involving ships. It could be some ties to the slave ships as well, in terms of energies from transatlantic slave trade or commerce trade agreement. Who knows? But ships shows card shows up here. I get biblical. Something lets me know that there's some biblical ties to you in the Bible. You need to look that up, because I honestly feel as though it's going to give you a synopsis as to what tribe um, that I could perhaps be in connection to in terms of spirituality and religion. As I started off the big reading, I said I felt like it was some media, quote unquote, mafia ties. Those are spirits, energies. Um, and what do I mean by that? It's to give you a synopsis as to underground in terms of spiritual transitions. That's what it lets me know. Like things that are presented to you is not exactly what it is. It's more spiritual than you would know. You got spirituality and religion. So there is a difference between spirituality and religion, because as I am told, spirituality, well, religion is man. That's based on this time and existence, but spirituality is apart from, if that makes any sense. I think this secret that you're holding is in regarding somebody that some things happened to this person, and this person pretty much got away with murder. and you got to live with that, knowing that, and as such, like I mentioned, check out my podcast episode and visual presentation about spiritual gifts, and what I mean when I said that God will put the spirit of role play and acting within you, particularly when you see some things manifest and people get away with shit, and it's that you was told and groomed to see that it's not right, but somehow this person was able to get away with it. Okay. And you have to live day by day facing the music, and the person gawk and talk you in your sleep, even in your everyday, and they get away with the shit or what have you, and then they get to speak about God or what have you. Magician, I have a magician card to show up here. What did I say the magician was? The illusion is God and everything ain't what it appears to be. Magician, manifestation, hidden power, inner guidance, and resourcefulness. I said God is the magician. He's the illusionist. That's what it lets me know. And once you have received that heightened sensibility, you'll begin to see it as such. I have judgment here. Judgment card. But what does judgment means? I think if you tell on God, He will allow some things to manifest the way they do. Judgment says renewal, awakening, reflection, self-realization, and choices. So you got to learn to understand what it said. Because all day long we could read information, but if we're not able to process and apply it, then what does that mean? Okay? And I'm not saying you're stupid, because it's an everyday battle. That's why, you have people such as myself that try to minimize contact with certain spirits, because it's very hard. Now I have 501s, but I have it turned upside down. Stress, conflict, and instability. Something lets me know, and just in reading that, and what does wands represent? It relates to willpower, life force, passion, creativity, ego, and personality. I think that burden is going to be released off of you, and you will be restored to your self. You will be restored. That energy that is on you is going to be restored off of you, and you're going to have restoration. Because this judgment that I feel, this guilt, this judgment that I feel, I think it's going to dissipate, is what I feel, because I'm going to pray and say, God, remove whatever this negative energy force that's on this person and dissipate it, move it away from this space and move it into another existence. Okay. Um, this guilt, this burden that this person feel, release that burden off of them, and to where they can have some sense of normalcy and solace and a peace of mind, because I believe this person has been burdened and have suffered enough, and it's time to move that energy away, that space, into a different space. Because we all hold secrets. We all hold secrets, but this here is more than just a secret. This is something that is, yeah, you're beginning to see how God truly, honestly work, and it could be disheartening. I'm not going to sin tell like it can, once the revelation has come to you that a lot of the things that are being presented is by way of deception, and once people have gained insight on how to trick Satan and get them off their back, that's what they're going to do. Now, let's get a little bit of family history, because I do feel as though when I pull out the Egyptian tarot cards in regards to family history, I do believe that if you summons those who are in your past, you know, family history, it will present to you and give you some inclination and insight about some things you haven't fathomed. And as I mentioned, I think that's why there's a battle to disassociate one from one's heritage and family history, because revelation comes by way when those spirits present themselves, is what I feel. Okay. So it may seem cliche, boring, or what have you, but you will want to know about not only culturally but particularly family history, because I do believe that spirit channeling and conjuring is real. Whether people want to give power to it or not, say that's hoodoo, voodoo is real. And God does give revelation by, I have the Two of Wands, Ra's eye, by way of oversight of your family history, those who paved the way, those who were notable in family, because it's going to give you the answers. If you sit back and pay attention, it's going to give you the answers. It says the Jat, which is the symbol of ambiguous power of the sun that can make the earth live but also burn. So what is this ambiguous power? Because they say God is not a God of confusion, and I'm not going to denounce or even come against that. But what I will say is we can use a different term. He's ambiguous. He's alpha, omega, black or white, good, bad, good, evil, however you want to refer to it as. So, um, the positive help in the development of material undertakings. So this is what I feel as though you are dealing with. I think this so-called ties to the quote mafia or some dealings in terms of female feminine energy. There has been some underground things that manifested as to the affluentness in your history is what it lets me know. I have good prospects for success. However, I think this guilt that you feel is because of that. And you want to remove that energy away. And I think that energy will be removed from you because, hey, if you always feel guilty about some things that need to happen in order for you to have, you will never make it. So I think God will restore you and give you some sense of solace, okay? Now, this is the negative that comes towards you, and I think this negative energy needs to be blocked because if you continue to take on it, it will run your bonkers and mad, and you won't survive, and you'll just, you know, things will present to you to facilitate a spiritual transition. So it mentions about justified worries. I'm not going to sit here and say what you know the guilt that you feel is not warranted. I'm not. But to bring you some sense of solace, we're going to ask God to remove that energy away from you is what we're going to do. Unexpected adversaries. You did not expect this. I do understand that because when you go into your spiritual awakening, where He gives you to the nitty gritty of the situation, it's going to be a very disheartening thing for you, not only you, but a lot of people. I have uncertainty. So I honestly feel as though you do exhibit a lot of uncertainty because of this. So let's get your life's purpose. Let's get your life's purpose card pulled up because we want to get you restored. We want things to work out favorable for you. We don't want you living um in a shamble. Okay, I got two cards. Let me just pull one. All right, sensitivity. I honestly feel as though you're sensitive right now. That means God is doing something with your spirit and soul. Some things are being manifested within you because, as I mentioned, 2024 is what? It's the year for transformation. So things are going to that feeling that you're feeling, carrying the birth of this secret. Okay, whatever. It's not that worse off. God will restore you and things are going to work out favorable for you. So you're becoming more sensitive and need to make changes accordingly. So things are going to manifest for this change. So you have nothing to worry about, nothing to fear. Now, in terms of fear, I've heard, God is not a God of fear, and the first thing you need to do is fear God. So you don't know what to believe. But one thing I will say is this: every situation, it would you would kind of get that idea as to what is being conveyed based on the situation. This is what I get for your healing energy oracle card. It says vitality. I am a being of light. I accept the divine energy in my body, and every one of my cells regenerate. So I think there's going to be a restoration that's going to come for you to put your life in a new direction so we can move forward, because I honestly think that this has really, really affected you psychologically. As such, this is the card we want to pull out: victory. Victory will be claimed over your life, over the space that's around you. It says, Archangel Sandalphon, your prayers have been heard and answered. Have faith. So have faith that things are going to manifest positively for you, and you will be restored. You don't have anything to worry about, because you will begin to notice that when you take on other people's burdens, it will weigh you down psychologically, mentally, physically. I mean, hey, so don't we know? Don't don't allow others' energies um or whatnot. Don't allow that negative energy to manifest into your space. So we're going to pretty much get into the dark reading in just a moment, but something lets me know that this energy that you are experiencing, we're going to call it a name. And what is the name of that energy? I said it was a feminine energy around, but we're going to say this energy is fear. That's what it lets me know. Oftentimes when we are burdened with the brunt of secrets, particularly family secrets, and when we got some on somebody, it will exhibit a lot of fear. Am I letting fear stop me? I think the key factor here is fear. Some trade their dreams for comfort, yet comfort is the enemy of progress. That's what it mentions. So, in other words, in order for some things to manifest favorable, things are not going to be always peaches and cream for you. There's going to be some hardships that you may have to endure in order to get to the paradise or the happy space or place. I think it's you have endured it, and now it's time for that to happen now. Success requires showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it. And even when it feels uncomfortable, it takes guts and an endless vision to stay consistent to your dream. So I think the goal in this situation is to tackle your fears and to oversee or overcome some things that you cannot handle. That's what I feel. Today's Soul's Action Journal, where you can be more consistent in your life in alignment with your soulful goals, then show up. So I think the thing with you is the soul. Now, I was going to speak about the Jezebel spirit today, but I think because soul is so significant in this situation, we're going to speak about lost souls. I don't think I would have to see when the last time. I know it has had to have been at least 6 months that I have spoke on and have done a not only a podcast but a visual presentation in regarding lost souls, because um dealing with things with the spirit, as I mentioned, we are all spiritual based, We all have a spirit, whether it's of a good one or not, but the soul is long standing and is permanent. Is so if you are dealing with something in terms of your soul, it's trembling. I mean, words cannot even explain. I'm not even going to sit here and tell you not to feel fear anytime you're dealing with something in regarding the soul, because if you reference back to my episode when I mentioned about my how can I put it, open vision in terms of my soul, it's nothing to laugh about. I'm not even going, and I could be a sarcastic person because I like to laugh and all this other stuff, but anything involving the soul is nothing to laugh about. It's not funny, to say the least. So let me look and see when the last time I spoke on this particular topic, and it looks like it's been a while because I'm headed back towards. I typically speak on. Well, I did touch bases on selling your soul back in November, and here it is, April. Well, it's March actually, but I did speak about selling your soul back in November, but lost souls, I don't remember when the last time I spoke on that, but I don't see it. But so at the close of this um, reading, that's the topic I'm going to speak about today, or what I'm going to discuss. So fear, I feel, is the key factor in this reading, and let's get to the root as to what is exhibiting this fear. Well, number one, I think it's when anything that's involving the soul is apart from this existence. If that makes any sense, I think spirit is something temporary. It's a holding space within the body. In other words, the breath for this existence, but the soul lives on forever. And so we're going to get to the nitty gritty of this fear. Because I did mention that I think your fear was being exhibited by some things in terms of mafia related, which is exactly, those are dark energies. All right. First of all, I honestly feel as though the revelation has come to you is that um we were not wanted, if that makes any sense. So I honestly feel as though revelation has come. We was in a holding space prior to we came here for restoration. Is what it just revealed to me. So I'm going to do lost souls, soul restoration is what the topic of of the episode is going to be today. We was at a holding space prior to entering into this space called Earth or life experience. And we have an opportunity for restoration, soul restoration. In other words, it's kind of similar to what I mentioned about fallen angels. Like we're not angels, but I think we can be as angels. So I'm going to entitle it Lost Soul, subtitle Soul Restoration. I think this is the opportunity to get kind of like a second chance, if that makes any sense, before you're completely banished. You see how this person is walking away? The moon. I think the spotlight is put on you or what have you. So God will restore you from things and shield you from whatever it is that you did in a previous life experience. You will give you the opportunity apart from. However, When you do it, you cannot play with them. You can't. It can't be that back and forth type stuff. No, no. So I think, as you see this card here, this person is on the edge, kind of like they're contemplating, trying to figure out, okay, am I going to take the leap of faith, or what I'm going to do here? Because what I was told was da 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 da, but you was not told all of the story. And once you have received that spiritual awakening, God will show you that that applies to certain individuals. Everybody is not going to, everything is not going to be applicable to everybody. Okay, so we're going to entitle it Lost Soul, Soul Restoration. What is this life experience is all about? Well, it just put a revelation in me as to what it's all about. Now, whether you want to take and put this in a book form and make a movie out of it, or whatever you case may be, I'm only doing it as God may. The harvest moon organized the mind. 27 is what it mentions. So he wants you to know that the revelation that he's just put within me is to give you a synopsis as to my reality and yours possibly as well. Soul restoration, that's what it is all about. That is to give you a synopsis as to what this life experience is about. We are essentially, I guess you can say, part two to this life experience. So when we come here, we're being restored. Now you got energies that are in this other holding space referred to as heaven, paradise, or whatever we want to call it. They don't get that opportunity, and they're oftentimes jealous because they don't have the opportunity for, in other words, to make amends or to redemption, if that makes any sense. They don't get that privilege of redemption. All right, so let's proceed. We're going to pull out the demons. Well, what demons are presenting to you? Well, I do show that there's fear that shows up in this reading. I show there's fear. I'm gonna pull out three. I'm going to pull out three because I think this right here is a representation. You see the three wands, and wands represents will, relates to willpower and life force, passion, creativity, ego, and personality. So let's break these words down. Your will is what you're able to do. Your power, what energy or capability is, and your life force in this life experience. What you have been gifted to do in terms of control over your destiny. Passion, what is your drive. Creativity, how things came about. Ego, why are we here? Personality, personal, like getting your own inner message. Personal message is what it lets me know that I need to relate to you in regarding this reading. So we're going to pull out, there's three demons that you're battling. We're going to go over lost soul, soul restoration. That's what we're going to do. Let's pull these cards out. And I'm just randomly pulling. I'm not, hey, we're going to call it as it may. Get off into tarot card reading. It's very, very interesting. We're going to see what demons or adversaries, dark energies, energy spaces are presenting. I have two of pentacles. Two represents unity, balance, and partnership. Why are we here? I think that's what it is. Pentacles relates to material aspects of life, career, finances, business, and possession. So something lets me know that you're wanting to know why. You question why. Well, I have Amon, or Amon, or however you want to pronounce that. It says reveals the past and the future, reconciles friends and enemies. So I'm going to at the closing of this podcast, go into the why. And then it's just going to flow through. Nine of Wands. Nine represents wisdom, fruition, and achievement. Wands represents real power and life force, passion, creativity, ego, and personality. So it says Marchosius or Marchosius, however you want to refer to that as. Why are we here? A strong and faithful fighter follows all commands and answers all questions. That's a demon. That means that don't answer all questions because just put it this way. Everything is not going to be favorable for everybody. Everybody don't need to hear the answers. That's the point. If I want you to know something, put it within you. Five of Cups, aim. That's another vice or demon. Five represents stress, conflict, and instability. Cups relates to feelings and emotion, creativity, relationships, intuition, and compassion. Reveals secrets and increases one's intellect. Spreads destruction by fire. So I honestly feel as though that this revelation, I do believe that there is a um soul restoration for you. You're going to see that you have favor despite of, and you cannot let a lot of people in on this because they'll feel as though they can take advantage of it as well. It's not for you, baby. It's the point. Um, let's go ahead and we're going to. This is what I have as the moonology. Take time to breathe out. Disseminating moon. Take time to breathe out. In other words, sit back and let God come in because he's going to show you what this life experience is all about. It's going to be revealed. And a lot of things that was written in such a way to deceive certain energies. Everything is not going to be favorable for everybody. It's the point. All right, so I thank you for tuning in to this episode of Spiritual Sense, Light and Dark Reading. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed with my episode topic. Lost Souls, subtitle, Soul Restoration. And then whatever comes in, it's going to relay out. So if any questions, comments, or suggestions, you're more than welcome to comment below. Until then, have a safe and wonderful day.